The last invitation from Lela Kartveli directly to any government event was with the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Janalitsi, I don't know if I said his name right, Janalitsi, with the Georgian Patriarch present, and their call for unity in Georgia, which I believe, I don't know if I was on Friday or Saturday, but the NATO PA event was on Friday, and Anna Abarsky and I were not given press access to that event. So this was confusing and insulting because I was told, to support NATO. So Lela invited me to this event where there was a call for unity from the Georgian Patriarch and Foreign Minister Mihail Janalitse, who, by the way, was one of the first foreign government ministers for David Flynn to meet when he started his overseas travels on a diplomatic basis for the United States. And I then refused to go. I just didn't go because friends in Georgia couldn't understand how I could go stand next to this government now in power, and then when they were putting drugs, the police were planting drugs and arresting political opposition and arresting political opposition. So that was the story. Then after that, within the same weekend, my mother had a very interesting offer on an estate settlement, which I had been working on for her. And it was a quite sizable amount of cash, but I could do when and whatever I wanted with it. It was the biggest power struggle ever, if you're into astrology, in my stars. It was incredible. But that offer came at the same time. And then within a week, Wings Over Whiteman Air Force show, where I made some incredible photos of the Lela Kartveli created, designed Warthog low combat jet fighter air support, close combat support aircraft for the US military and NATO. Wonderful photos, absolutely awesome. You can see the heat mirage under the elephant walk of those Warthogs on the runway at Whiteman's Air Force Base in Missouri. It was an awesome air show, but I was never thanked for. Lela Kartveli never liked and never shared one single photo. I remember when Kissinger came back from the Kremlin with the advice to Donald Trump, and Donald Trump was accused of being anti-NATO or weakening NATO's presence in the world, a major aim of Vladimir Putin, by the way. And Kissinger had advised Tillerson, then head of the State Department, and Trump to give up Ukraine and Georgian sphere of influence to the Kremlin. In any case, I would never hear from or see any chat or emails from Lela Kartveli after mid-October. She claimed that her mother died on September 26th. There was a Kartveli Association events at the end of September. I was never notified about the initial first event with NASA scientists present at Tech Park, a U.S. Embassy-sponsored event, while U.S. Senator Roy Blunt reaffirmed on February 8, 2018 in a letter to me that I only saw on March 7 that he had asked that I, hope or encourage that I continue to advocate for and support NATO and our allies. Coincidentally or not, I had already made a film at the NATO liaison office in Georgia, SPS, that is up. The SPS NATO program offer is up on YouTube. It's pulling at number 2 on the search for NATO PS. And in any case, that's an explanation for my deep disappointment at this government's proxies and or the government itself, because it's a Georgian American related project they asked me to help with, and for them not to respond to a letter is deep disrespect. So when I'm disrespected, I'm more than likely to give it back. That's not the best way to do things, but sometimes that's just the way it happens.